Good morning, welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. So today, as promised, I'm going to do my final thoughts on the Stryper Even the Devil Believes album. Before I do that though, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's subscribed, because now I've hit 507. As you know, I was amazed when I hit 50 if you've been watching the channel since the beginning. And now I've got 507, and you know, it's amazing. So a big thanks to all for subscribing and watching my videos. It means such a lot. So let's get on with this final thoughts on Even the Devil Believes. So if you've been watching my reactions, I did something different this time because it was such a big album for me and a big release really. Stryper for me is always a big release when I release something new. I did something a bit different. I reacted to every song on the album. It was painstaking, it was frustrating because I wanted to listen to it. You know, we all know what we're like when we get a new album. We want to listen to it front to back several times. But I wanted to react to it, and to tell you the truth, it was really good fun. And it's one of probably the best thing I've done on the channel. So I will be doing that with bigger releases. When an important one comes out, or ones that really I know that I'm going to love, or, you know, expect them to be good, I will be doing that every time because it's such an enjoyable thing to do. And the comments from you guys daily was just outstanding. It really made my day, some of the comments. So without further ado, let's just give my final thoughts. And I've got a feeling you sort of know how I feel about this album already if you've been watching my videos. So this is an absolute barnstorming album. Stryper seemed like they took everything that people wanted and put it on one album. You know, people call for the days of the 80s, and they add elements of that all the way through this album. They also sounded modern, they sounded fresh on this album. Production was amazing and obviously helped that big time, you know, bringing all those instruments to the forefront. So let's talk about individually the members of Stryper. So let's go first of all to Michael Sweet. So because I go on about Michael Sweet all the time and his talent, so let's just get let's just talk about him first. So he, as you all know, is an amazing songwriter, amazing guitarist, and his voice is right up there at the moment with the best in rock and metal. Easy. The way he's kept his voice is amazing, and I just love listening to his voice. I think he's got an outstanding voice, and it shines through this album. He screams like he did back in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. He has got so many textures to it. Excellent. Goes without saying, Michael Sweet is Stryper near enough, you know what I mean? I know there was a little period when he was out of the band, but I can't imagine the band without him. He makes the band, obviously. So you got Oz Fox. Let's wish Oz all the best anyway, because of obviously he's going through a bit of a crap time at the moment. But Oz Fox is also outstanding on this album. I'm always not quite sure who swapped solos, but all the guitar solos on this album are amazing. The riffing, it's absolutely, you know, it's some of the best riffs, not just Stryper have written, but some of the best riffs period that have been written in metal. Oz is a great guitarist, and shout out to Oz last night. I was watching the last watch party, so I had to get up, set my alarm clock, got up and watched it. And Oz mentioned me because he saw my name come up on the chat, and he mentioned me and told Michael Sweet I was online, and they both, all the band, said some great things about me, saying what the passion that I have about music in general and the band. So thank you very much for that. It really meant a lot. It was amazing. So Oz, yeah, to get back to Oz, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, just as good as has always been on this album. Some great guitaring all the way through. Robert Sweet, you know, I know that Michael Sweet's production has really brought the drumming to the forefront in this. And sometimes I listen to it, it's some of the best drum sound I've heard, but obviously it ain't just no good having a good drum sound, you've got to be a brilliant drummer as well. Robert Sweet he's superb. He is absolutely amazing. And it probably wouldn't be the same without him either. You know, sometimes you can swap drummers around and bring drummers and bassists, that sort of thing, and not really tell the difference. I think you would be able to tell the difference. I mean, there was he wasn't on the one of the Stryper. I think it was Murder. Was it Murder by Pride? He wasn't on there. So I think, you know, sometimes you can lose certain members, can't you, in other bands? But I think Stryper, I don't know. Sometimes it wouldn't stay the same, would it, if one of them left? And let's just talk about the last guy in the band, Perry Richardson, new bassist. Well, when I was listening to the listening party last night, and some of these songs kicked in and the bass started kicking in after a few seconds, you really don't realise the difference Perry Richardson has made. And also, again, Michael Sweet's production, bringing that bass right to the forefront. Michael Sweet was talking on, and I've mentioned this a few times, on Metal Voice, saying that Metal Voice is a YouTube station about, obviously, rock and metal, and saying that Perry keeps it simple, but it's really effective, and I totally agree with that. I just think him and Robert Sweet keep this machine rolling just so heavy. It is absolutely amazing. So that's all the 4 members covered. Let's just talk about the songs individually, only quickly, because I've done the reactions anyway, and I'll tell you if my scores have changed, which they have. A lot of them have, and some of them have stayed the same. So, track by track, Blood from Above, loved it when it first came out. It's grown and grown and grown on me since the album was released. I think I gave it an 8 at the beginning. I've taken that up to a 9 easy now. Brilliant song. What a way to start an album. So that's a 9. Make Love Great Again. Loved the song since the beginning. When it first came out, my score stayed the same. 9 out of 10. Let Him In. This one's grown on me. I think I gave it an 8 on my first reaction. I put it up a little bit. I've had to split some of these scores. I couldn't go 8 or 9 or 10. So I've gone 8.5 on this one. Love Let Him In now. Really catchy chorus. Do Unto Others. The standout track still for me on the album. And even though some of the other tracks have come up, Do Unto Others has just stayed at the top and it hasn't moved. I believe this could be literally Stryper's best song they've ever written. 10 out of 10. If I could give it more, I would. Even The Devil Believes. So when I first scored this one, I was toying with between 8 and 9. This has gone right up. This is a 10. Easy. It's just grown and grown and grown on me. That riff, which people are sort of saying it's got a Dokken vibe. I would agree with that. It has a little bit. I think it's breaking the chains, but brought into the, you know, into this century. Do you know what I mean? Wow, what a song, Even The Devil Believes. And every time I listen to it, it goes up 10 out of 10. So that's gone up from a possible 8 to a 10 for me. How to Fly. This one has grown on me. The more I listen to it, and this could even go up even more, but at this moment in time, at first I was like, yeah, it's good, but it wasn't one of my favourites. But it's really catchy in a psychedelic way. I know a lot of people love this song, you know, with the ELO influences, Queen obviously going in there, but all the time keeping it Stryper, obviously. I've given How to Fly now an 8. It was a 7. I've gone up to an 8. That could possibly go up, that one. But next, Divider. So I've given this 9 out of 10. I think that was my original score. Love it. So heavy. This was the one when I was listening last night to the listening party, when the bass kicked in, I was, whoa, listen to that come in. It was just Michael Sweet. I know I keep touching on this production. What he's done with this album is amazing. He's highlighted everything good about the band and just multiplied it by 100, you know, it's brilliant. Next, number 8, This I Pray, the ballad, if you like, pulled straight out of the 80s. Absolutely love this song. I think I gave it an 8 when I first heard it. I'll put it up to an 8.5. Brilliant. You just, I can imagine it was like the 80s all over again. I can imagine a video, I don't know, black and white video and cowboy hats and all that. It's just mad. This song just transports me straight back. 8.5. Invitation Only. This song has shot right up. This is so catchy. Possibly one of the catchiest songs Stryper have ever written. And I've actually read a few comments on the Facebook pages and that saying, you know, I miss the Stryper, the melodic Stryper. What is going on? Have you listened to this album? And this song in particular. Another one, it's weird. This album, towards the end of the album, really starts getting 80s vibes. You know, I love it. Invitation Only, I've given it a 10 out of 10. So that's 3 10s so far on this album. Number 10, For God and Rock and Roll. What an absolutely cool song this is. I liked it when I first heard it. I like it a bit more now. Definitely got those Y&T vibes when I first heard it. People were saying it's got Kiss sort of vibes, but you know, it's I can imagine this being played live. Well, what an absolutely barnstorming song this is. I've given it an 8.5. I think I gave it an 8 originally. And the last song, Middle Finger Messiah. I didn't really give this one a score. I was thinking a 7 when I first heard it. It's probably my least favourite song on the album. Well, it is, even though I like it still. Nothing to do with the controversial title or anything like that. Just as a song. I just didn't think it was as strong as the others. You know, it's just my opinion. I gave it a 7.5 though. So a little bit of dip, but I can sort of understand the closing of the album. Starting off heavy with Blood From Above, which is an amazing song. Closing off with a really fast song. I can, you know, that's probably the way Stryper do it a lot anyway. And, you know, I sort of knew they was going to do that. And you can understand it. Start heavy and go out even heavier, you know. And I've given that a 7.5. So I've actually added all those totals up. Comes to 98 over 11 tracks. And it's actually scored an 8.9, this album. So people will probably be saying, you know, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. When you get a 10 out of 10, you know, people do score these differently, you remember. You get some reviews that just give everything a 10 and, you know, that means it's absolutely, you think everything is totally perfect and everything is a knock it out of the park song. Every song on this is brilliant, by the way. But others are better than, you know, some are better than others, you know. So I feel that I score it just as I see it. So that 8.9 is an absolutely fantastic score. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to look at where that's actually fell within my ranking. So I did the ranking a little while ago. Let me quickly run through where that sits. So we've got 11 albums to talk about because we're just discounting any cover albums or live stuff or compilations, anything like that. So number 11, Yellow and Black Attack. Reborn is at number 10, sorry. Number 9, Murder by Pride. Number 8, Against the Law. Number 7, Goddamn Evil. Number 7 was In God We Trust. Number 6 was Goddamn Evil. My apologies. Number 5, Soldiers Under Command. Number 4, Fallen. Number 3, Even the Devil Believes. Number 2, No More Hell to Pay. Number 1, To Hell with the Devil. So there you have it. Fell at number 3, above Fallen. Do you know what I mean? That's a feat on its own. Fallen is an absolutely great album. When you actually look at, if you go back and look at the amazing releases that they've had since since No More Hell to Pay, those last 4 albums, before this album come out, obviously they're so close. We're talking No More Hell to Pay, Goddamn Evil, Fallen. They were so close. You're nitpicking, you know. but one had to come above the other. So No More Hell to Pay was, I just thought it was an amazing album. Fallen was just maybe just a little bit below that for me. Remember, this is only my opinion. And then Goddamn Evil was a little bit below that. So I was a little bit, not concerned, but thinking, you know, I hope, because bands to have a 4-album run is just like, you know, there's not many bands that have runs like this where every album is great. To have 4 albums that are just outstanding is just, you know, it's unheard of a lot. So I was getting a bit worried because thinking, oh, they're going down a little bit. Not, you know, we're not saying they're getting rubbish or anything, but there was slight differences, and I think Goddamn Evil for me wasn't quite as good as the 2 before. But now, look what they've done. They've come back with a vengeance, you know. They've just knocked it out of the park on this. It's right up there. It is right. To be number 3 in their discography, and How I Love This Band, is an amazing feat. You know, to be together for how many years, 30 odd years, whatever it is, and produce an album like this. Hands up to these guys. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait for their live versions of To Hell with the Devil, and even The Devil Believes, what they've done in, I think they've recorded them in the studio live. That'd be a great thing to see, to watch, or to buy, you know, to stream or to buy. I think it's going to be available to buy as music and a DVD, I believe, or a stream. I can't remember. I'm not really sure, but absolutely brilliant. Knocked out of the park, guys. Absolutely love it. Loved the listening party last night. I've loved doing this, you know, this track by track thing, and there'll be more to come. Got a couple of album reviews later. I hope you've enjoyed my Stryper marathon, and I'll catch up with you next time. If you want to subscribe, please press the red button, bottom right hand corner.